Hidden among the steep hills of the Yarra Valley Ranges is a primary source of Victorian industrial history. Tram tracks, oil drums, and large mounds of sawdust provide insight into the post-colonial history of logging and silviculture in the area. Now, apart from wide tracks maintained by Vic Forests, the area remains largely untouched, with recreational bushwalkers, campers, and off-road vehicles being the major users of the wet sclerophyll to wet temperate forest conditions. Even during summer, the undergrowth is thick and wet, with permanent existing structures built to keep hikers out of the mud. The valley has steep topography, and given the density of the growth of alpine ash, mountain ash, nothofagus, tree ferns, and mosses has become relatively wind-free. The litter on the ground is often damp eucalyptus leaves, with the understory being predominantly ferns and small dense shrubs. Access to these areas in case of fire is minimal to none, with only a few areas being burnt to avoid degrading water catchment quality.
Topography of Yarra Ranges includes steep mountains surrounded by the plains having Victorian mountain ash, Eucalyptus trigonum forests, which can live up to 400 years and grow taller above 80 meters. These forests can be the best for carbon storage as well as provides home for many arboreal species like leadbeater's possum, grey gliders, and various kinds of birds. This place consists of some epiphyte flora species which live over the mountain ash trees such as liverwort and other threatened species like slender tree fern. Apart from that, rivers of Yarra Ranges are the major source of drinking water in Melbourne, as most of the area managed by government's closed catchment policy to protect the most of the area as designated water supply catchment area.
Old-growth forests in Victoria are forests in their oldest growth stage, which show no obvious signs of disturbance from events such as bushfire or human disturbance. Old-growth forests have vast economic and environmental value. They support the greatest abundance of hollow-bearing trees which support ecological diversity, as well as being an asset to the native timber industry and a pull for tourism as a pristine part of Australia. Recently, a number of studies, particularly looking at alpine ash, which is common in the Powelltown area, have indicated that bushfires are significantly less likely and less severe in old forests. Forest which has been recently burnt is more flammable for a few reasons. Firstly, fire in eucalypt forest produces dense, dry regrowth as the trees resprout, which serves as dry fuel. Secondly, in old forest, the moist, still microclimate that develops under the canopy acts as a fire retardant. But if this canopy is removed by severe fire, the regenerating forest is exposed to the full strength of the wind, creating conditions that make fire more likely and more severe. For these reasons, forests are dramatically less likely to burn when they're matured, and so steps should be taken to protect old-growth forests such as Powelltown and prevent this positive feedback cycle of fire getting started.
Typically, old-growth forests in the Powelltown area are very wet places, meaning that treating fuel hazards through prescribed burning would not be feasible. Smoke pollution caused by burning activity would also pose an environmental threat to the region's water resources and other assets such as vineyards. The management strategies for these areas are limited. Cleaning up surface fuels in the privately owned land adjacent to these forests is a priority. Chipping machinery can be used to efficiently clear these areas of fuel hazards and can also be used to cross difficult terrain. As well as this, it is important that the access to these forests is maintained. Cleaning up surface fuels in the privately owned land adjacent to these forests is a priority. Chipping machinery can be used to efficiently clear these areas of fuel hazards and can also be used to cross difficult terrain, making them a valuable tool. As well as this, it is important that the access to these forests is maintained, especially by the groups that use them. Furthermore, an understanding of the environmental conditions of the area more broadly is imperative to managing the residual fire risk.